What's up, sports bettors? Matt Moda here with OddsJam, coming to you with some WNBA best bets for tomorrow. So there are no WNBA games today, which means that we have to place some bets for tomorrow. So both of the second round playoff series are currently in game 3. So game 1, both of the away teams won, which was funny enough. Seattle beating the Aces, and the Aces are the 1 seed, and then the Sun beating the Sky. But then, unsurprisingly, in game 2, both of the home teams came back, tied up the series 1-1. So now we have games 3 being played tomorrow, one at 1 p.m. Eastern, the other at 3 p.m. Eastern. Of course, now this means that both of the lower seeds are now at home with the chance to really take advantage of having won that game 1. So, based on the odds of the games, both of the lower seeds who are now at home are now the favorites here, again, unsurprisingly. So starting off with the Connecticut Sun versus Chicago Sky. So this is essentially a pick'em, with the Sun being a little bit favored here. The best odds you can get on them are minus 105 on Caesars, which actually looks like it does have some value, with BetOnline pricing the Sun at minus 115 and the OddsJam line pricing them at minus 112. Really not showing a ton of VIG in the markets here, of course, with the OddsJam line having the lowest VIG at 3.3%. If you want to look at the point spread, the main lines for the point spread either have this at Connecticut Sun -1 or -1.5. I'm not really seeing a ton of value here specifically on the spread. Maybe if you wanted to get the Sun at -1.5 at +100 on BetMGM, but you're not really getting a great value play there, as if you remove the VIG, it's still still would not be a positive expected value play. The total is pretty much universally at 163.5. Now for me, I actually trend this total going over, or I'm sorry, I would guess this total going over if I had to give a prediction, but I'm not touching it at these odds. So where I'm actually landing is I'm going back to a money line play, and I actually really like the Connecticut Sun at minus 105 on Caesars. Again, you do get some value on this. Actually, looks like the odds changed of the OddsJam line favoring the favoring the Sun at minus 105 on Caesars, which shows me that this is even a better bet, that if odds are continually shifting towards the Sun, then if you can get this 105, I think it could be a value. And for those of you who have been following me along, I have always liked the Sun the most of all of the teams. If you look at the stats, and you just go to all stats, I want to look specifically at the regular season. I want to look at advanced stats, though, which is what I love looking at because it's a little more analytically friendly. If you look at net rating, the Sun have the highest net rating in the entire NBA by a decent amount. They're like 3.5 points higher than the Chicago Sky, the third place team, and almost a full 2 points higher than the Aces, who are the second place team. So now that the Sun are at home, they won game 1, they stole a game, got back home court advantage. I actually really like the Sun in this one, and again, we are getting a pretty decent value on this one. Pretty much every book, not pretty much, literally every book has the Sun money line as the favorite outcome here, except for Caesars, which is another reason why I like the value here. And if you just look at the average odds versus the best odds, the average odds on the Sun are minus 116. We are getting them at minus 105 on Caesars. BetMGM, PointsBet, FanDuel. They all think the most likely scenario here is that the Sun win. BetMGM and PointsBet have the Sun money line at minus 115. They have the Sky at minus 105. FanDuel is even more in favor of the Sun at minus 120. The other side of it at minus 102. Same thing with WinBet and Tipico, minus 120, minus 125. Heavily favoring the Sun. And then, of course, the two sharpest books in the world, BetOnline and then Pinnacle, which is the sharpest sportsbook in the world, also favor the Sun money line at this one. So getting it at minus 105, I think, is a really good value. I'm going to put a full unit on this one, the Sun money line against the Chicago Sky. Now the next game, so looking at the next game, the Storm versus Aces, I actually have another play on the home team here. So the money line odds aren't really a play here. Every book, the best odds you're getting at is at minus 115. But if you look at the point spread, WinBet, which doesn't give money line odds, actually has this game as a pick'em, which you can get at minus 110. So if you look at all of the lines here, this is actually a better value than the one we just bet on at the Sun money line, because the average odds for the Storm money line is minus 121. But we can get them as a pick'em, which is essentially just picking them to win. That's what pick'em means, at minus 110. So I think this one has a ton of value here. BetOnline actually thinks that the more likely scenario is that the Storm cover 1 point, and we are getting them just to win straight up. So we're basically getting a money line bet on the Storm at minus 110. So this is going to be a 1.5 unit play for me, taking the Storm pick'em minus 110 on WinBet. And the reason why I like backing the Storm here is they are one of the best home teams in the entire WNBA. So they have the second best home net rating. Of course, the Sun have number one. Another reason why I like the Sun. And the Storm are second at 8.1. If you look at them away, they're significantly lower at 2.4 in terms of net rating. So they get a really big boost being at home, which makes it an even bigger deal that they were able to steal one away. Now coming home, where they rate much more favorably according to the advanced analytics, I think is really good. So I'm going chalk here. I am backing both of the home teams on this one. I'm taking the Connecticut Sun money line at minus 105, and I'm taking essentially the Seattle Storm money line at minus 110. You're just getting them as a pick'em on WinBet as my two official bets. And that's going to be it. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for following me along for the WNBA season. Would appreciate if you are enjoying the content. Would appreciate a like, appreciate a subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. And that's it. So thanks for watching and have a good one.